Bivol wins a unanimous points decision over Canelo. Bear with me, it is like 6 a.m. So I'll do my best to review this. To be honest, it was a good performance, a solid performance from Bivol, who was a clear winner. Bivol was a clear winner, and I just want to say from the get-go, any young fighters, any young fighters watching that performance, watch the performance and then go and watch Bivol work the pads. The reason I say this is because, and I'm not going to go down the route of criticizing the tippy tappy pads that people do, because I don't think it's the end of the world. I don't think it's as bad as people often make out. The problem, of course, that we see sometimes is you'll see people do these type of pad workouts that can't really fight, and then you'll maybe see people that can fight brilliantly that don't do them workouts at all. There's room for everything in boxing, but the reason I mention this is because stuff that you see Bivol do on the pads, as in his preparation, he executed in that fight with Canelo. If you watch his pad work, you'll see him work a lot on two-phase attacks, pouring the jab, which he started the fight brilliantly with, which is pouring the jab, not too much weight in it. He didn't need to put too much weight in the jab because he knows he is the bigger guy, the bigger, stronger man. So he can just pour that jab, pour with good speed. And when Canelo thought he maybe had him, that's when there was a half a step back from Bivol, nice and light on the feet. Lovely 2 3-phase attacks from Bivol, which he was able to do from the start of the fight to the end, and even throughout the fight he gained confidence where he was able to back Canelo up. You can see Canelo was getting frustrated, which always helps. The likes of Bivol is, I think, as well from Canelo's perspective. Did he didn't box the best, and maybe the argument could be it's because Bivol didn't let him, but we often seen him go on the ropes, do stuff that he probably normally does on the ropes, not throwing much, doing what he wants, being quite. I always find it funny. 6 a.m. You've got someone that looks like Hagrid criticizing one of the best boxers in the world. What world we live in? But yeah, Canelo, you could see he was trying to injure that arm. He kept going for that arm. Didn't really go to plan for him as much though. And yeah, I think Canelo will be kicking himself with that performance too. Because I think Bivol performed brilliantly, but there was also a slight dip from Canelo. Maybe a hint of arrogance in his performance, which is hard sometimes because arrogance isn't always the worst thing, especially at that level. You need to have a hint of arrogance to reach them sort of heights that Canelo's at. So maybe there was a hint of that. I do want to say though, in regards to Canelo taking the loss, I don't think it should be one that celebrate Bivol for a brilliant performance, but let's also be grateful that we actually have a fighter like Canelo who's in the position he's in, that has the status he does, but is still fighting as regularly as he is, and still taking these challenges on, fighting the best possible fights he can fight. So yeah, that's it really. I mean, it was a good performance from Bivol, who for me was a clear winner. I don't think it was one of them fights that could have gone either way. It was close. There was a clear winner in the fight, who was Bivol. He boxed brilliantly. Like I said at the start of the video, for any of the young fighters coming through, watch Bivol's pad work, watch Bivol fight. It's relative. It's relevant, all the stuff he's doing. He's not doing nonsense on the pads that he can't do in a fight that so many people do within the sport. He's doing the work he did. You can see he's followed a game plan. He has a good coach, he has a good team, and he's a brilliant listener. It's so important to go out there and listen to instructions and execute the game plan, and that's something he did. So